Hey, good morning, everyone. How's it going today? Coach Alvarez here, back at you another episode, Coffee with Coach, bringing those mental vitamins to you again today. Hope you're up making some moves. Already got the mind in the right place, but if not, let's go ahead and shift it in the right place. So, actually, during my walks this morning with my dog and kind of just doing my normal routine after my 6 a.m. class, I was actually listening to, let me see the video real quick. It is called Making the Shift with Darren Hardy. Okay, so Making the Shift with Darren Hardy. It's an audio, it's a YouTube video. He's just talking, like reading his book, but it's in relationship to the compound effect. Okay, so, and actually, when I was reading this book, I came across something that he said in this other audio book, and I want to make sure that I get this out today because it's really good stuff. So there's a lot of people out there that I talk to or that I see on Facebook that are going through some troubled times, through some difficulties, and a lot of that is self-inflicted. You know, just things where we just do things to ourselves. We're humans, so we make mistakes, right? We just make bad decisions or whatever the case may be, and as it accumulates, the compound effect, like the book says, you know, things get bigger and bigger, the problems get bigger. So in order for things to get better, what I got out of this message was you have to become better. Like, you can't just wait around and just wish like one day tomorrow is just going to be better, just hoping and praying and hoping and praying is good. Like, that stuff definitely, you know, is something that, you know, I believe in too, but you got to put work behind it. Some work ethic has to go behind the hoping and the praying. Otherwise, you know, it's kind of just wishful thinking sometimes. So, you know, what I got was, what I wrote down, some of the notes was success is something you attract by the person you become. So if you're poor, you're broke, you're hurting, you know, made some bad decisions financially, some other things, you're hoping that some things can turn around for you. It's really not going to happen because of your job or just, you know, something other external thing. It's something inside of you. Like, your mind shift has to change. Who you are has to change. Like, you have to think and become successful inside before you are going to actually achieve that success. For things to get better and improve, you have to improve. And it says, you know, you got to work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Some of us are like really, really hard workers. Like, man, you go to your job, like you just, you know, you shine and you just, you know, you kind of outdo other people or your business. But in order for you to have like true success, you have to work harder on yourself, okay, self-improvement, self-growth, than you do on your job or your business. That includes your health and what you're listening to and what you're reading, and just again, who you're becoming as a person. So I want to read this little chapter real quick. It's a short little paragraph here that goes with the thing that I was just talking about on this audio that I was listening to this morning. So who you have to become, it's on page 72 of this compound effect. When most people set out to achieve new goals, they ask, okay, I have my goal. Now what do I need to do to get it? It's not a bad question, but it's not the first question that needs to be addressed either. The question we should be asking ourselves is, who do I need to become? You probably know some people who seem to do all the right things, but still don't produce the results they want, right? Why not? One thing Jim Rohn, if you don't know who Jim Rohn is R-O-H-N, okay, taught me. One thing Jim Rohn taught me is, if you want to have more, you have to become more. Success is not something you pursue. What you pursue will elude you. It can be like chasing butterflies. Success is something you attract by the person you become. And then he just goes on to say, you know, when he understood this philosophy, it just like revolutionized his life and his personal growth. I'll just go into this real quick. He kind of goes into like when he was single and he wanted to find his, you know, mate and get married. He made a long list of traits that he desired for a perfect woman for him. So he filled out like all these pages of this journal front and back, describing her in great detail: personality, characteristics, key attributes, attitudes, philosophies about life, what kind of family she'd come from, blah, 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 blah. But then he said he filled out some other pages of the behaviors, attitudes, and characteristics he needed to become in order to get, that certain individual. So wanting one thing from someone is something else versus like you need to become that person first to actually attract that to you, right? So you want something, but you're not it. It's going to be really hard to go and get that. So that just relates to a lot of things. Like I said, I just see posts. I talk to people all the time. And they want things to get better for themselves, financially, personally, health-wise, everything else. But again, it's just kind of like wishful thinking because inside they haven't become that yet. Like you don't want to be poor. Like stop thinking poor. Stop doing like poor stuff. That like a lot of that stuff can be like I was listening to the Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki one day. And he's like, being poor is like hereditary, like a hereditary trait passed down from your parents. The mindset. Not, it's more of the mindset versus actually like being poor, because there's been poor people that go on up and make millions of dollars, even billionaires, because they changed the way they think. Just because they came up in an environment or were born in a certain household that didn't have much, they didn't want to be that anymore. So they changed the way they thought and who they are inside, and they attracted that other wealth and those other things, because they started to become something different on the inside. So if that's you're out there, you're kind of hoping and wishing like things would just magically change for you, like Dorothy, the Wizard of Oz, you're going to click your heels 3 times and, end up in Kansas somewhere. It doesn't really work that way, and as you read more and more of this stuff, like when I was running earlier, because, after I walked my dog listening to this stuff, I continued because the audio was like, I don't know, it's an hour and 13 minutes long. So, during the walk with the dog and then the about 30-minute run or so, I listened to a good portion of this stuff. And it's the same stuff that I've been sharing. This is like episode 114. It's the same thing. And once you just start realizing, like you get all these books and all these audios and all these things around you, they're all saying the same thing. Like you need to fail like a lot to be successful. You need to go through a lot of things to be successful. You're not going to just, some people they have it better than others, but life ain't fair and that's just the way it is. But that doesn't give you an out. That doesn't give you a way out and an excuse to why you're not having the things that you should have. You want something, you should go get it, period. That's it. That's it. But in order for you to go get that, if you're thinking poor, you're acting poor, your attitude is poor, your diet is poor, like all these things about you are poor, okay? It's going to be really hard to be successful. Change the way you eat, change what you drink, get more exercise in, change what you read, who you're around, what you're listening to. I don't really listen to the radio as much anymore. I do listen to a lot of this stuff while I'm driving around. I am guilty of watching the news quite a bit when I get home, either from the class I'm getting ready to go to now, or in the evening, because I like to just stay up to date with especially what's going on right now, like with my business. I want to know if I'm gonna be shut down soon, or if it's coming, or if we're gonna stay open, and how things are going out there. But this stuff here is telling me, hey, look, don't do that. Like, don't spend the evening after you get home from work and spend 30 minutes or an hour of watching negative stuff, political stuff, when you could be spending an extra 30 minutes or so reading before you go to sleep, versus being on your cell phone and stuff like that. Think about that, 30 minutes a day, or even, I think one of the other people I listened to was read 10 pages a night or a day, and then see where that gets you and accumulates the compound effect and what that's going to add up to versus an hour before you go to bed of social media or, watching the news before you go to sleep. Everything makes a difference. Everything matters. Every detail counts, and especially your attitude. So if you want things to change, you want things to get better, you have to work on yourself, change who you're hanging out with, the way you think, what you eat, how you act, everything needs to change. And when you do all that, you'll start to see the shift happen for you in a much positive way versus again, the attitude's crappy, the diet's crappy, your health isn't that good, you're negative all the time, not a lot of positive stuff comes out of you, don't expect too much. Okay, don't expect too much. It's going to be pretty much the same result over and over again unless you change yourself. You want success, change yourself. Again, that's why I'm doing this stuff here, because not only is it helping me, I know that it's helping other people. It's positive stuff. It's like, man, I'm learning. So, I'm trying to get better. And this is just proof of it, because every day I come on here, I had just learned something new today, and I want to share it because I want other people to do better. So hopefully that helps you too. And hopefully you are trying to be a better individual out in the world, because we need more of that. So be a positive person, change the mind shift. If you're poor and depressed, stop thinking poor and depressed, change the way you are on the inside, and things will start to change for you. Like, it's just too many things around me saying the same thing. Like it's a guarantee. It just takes time. It takes time. Just think about how long it took you to get to the mindset that you're at, where you have the negative attitude and the negative things around you. How long did that take to accumulate? It's going to take some time to chip away at all that stuff and clear all that stuff out and get rid of it before you start seeing some daylight. But if you start today, you start now, those things will definitely start happening for you sooner than later. All right, guys, have a great day. I got some jujitsu to teach and to do. All right, we'll catch you on the next one. Later.